And now these looked a little bit different half an hour ago. I got them at the very edge of the river as the tide was coming in, and they were really shiny, black and shiny. And they made me think of this black ball that once reached the shores of London, Limehouse in particular, and was the reason a very particular shop was open. So even though they're not exactly what I was hoping they were, they can be used as a perfect stimulus or a prompt for the story I'd like to share with you later. Once upon a time in the Thames. Every single one of these objects, from the biggest, such as this beautiful bowl, to the smallest, such as this tiny piece of china, is actually a portal. It is a portal to another time and perhaps even another dimension. I've read somewhere that history of the civilization is a bit like a big flowing river, where the big events, the important stuff, all those dates and the battles and things that happen are the recorded history, the flow of the river. Whereas the true history, the history that happens to the people as they live it at the time, is what happens on the banks of the river. The history of the Thames is the history of the people who have lived on its banks for centuries and millennia. It's the history of objects. It's the history of this bowl and this big rusty nail. Could this be the bone of a tiger? And not just any old tiger. Could it be the bone of the great big Bengal tiger that at some point in the 19th century escaped from Jamrak's Exotic Animals Emporium, which was situated just around the corner from the beach where we were today? In the tobacco dock in Wapping, the tiger tried to eat a 9-year-old boy, and it was Jamrak himself, the owner of the Emporium, who saved the day and the boy by prizing open the jaws of the tiger with his bare hands. True story. And what about this piece of pottery? Could it be from that time when Romans roamed these shores and founded the city of London, or Londinium as they called it? Now, the name Londinium itself wasn't just plucked from thin air. In fact, it is believed to originate from pre-Celtic words plough and nade, put together to make ᴠᴏᴞɪδ, meaning great big flowing river. Does this tooth belong to one of the mythical beasts and monsters rumoured to be living at the bottom of the Thames? Or these bits of broken china? Did they arrive in the port of London on the first merchant ships of the famous, or rather infamous, East India Company back at the start of the 17th century? Such was the strength of the new craze for tea, also brought to these shores all the way from the Far East, that the local potters worked hard to replicate the formula for the making of porcelain, or china, which marked the beginning of the china-making industry in the busy, thriving, industrial, metropolitan East End of London. And what about this hollowed shell, resembling an adder stone or a hagstone, believed to have special magical powers? It is said to be able to protect against the evil eye and sorcery, and this is precisely because it was shaped by moving water. And finally, the black stone, Perhaps the very same stone that a certain Martin Frobisher brought back from his maiden voyage to Baffin Island, believing it to, for whatever reason, be a kind of ore from which pure gold could be extracted. This was the reason that the Alchemical Society of the New Art was established right around the corner from where we were today, in Limehouse. If you've been inspired by any of our findings, stories, drawings or sculptures, then send us your artworks. You can find out where to submit your work in the links at the end of this video. We're excited to see what you come up with.